Hello, hello there, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Well, I am excited to be with you here today, as you can tell, and I am thankful that we are now in a new season. So I say to you, welcome to summer, and surely summertime has shown up here in the Boston area. We were in the 90s here in Boston today. It started off cool this morning with some rain, thankfully. So this morning I went out and I walked around the garden and gave you a really quick but wonderful, insightful, I think, tour of my English style cottage garden here in the northeast in the Boston area. And I showed you my zinnias and basil, and I left them out here on the deck in the heat, in the sun, and yet they stood up to the temperatures, which was great. So I am pleased to report that they are still looking lush and beautiful. And I think it's because of that early morning rain. So we are hoping that Mother Nature will be good to us and give us some beautiful rain during the early morning so that during the midday and in the heat of the summer day, like 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that our plants will be thriving and not just trying to survive the heat, because we're going to be having some more very hot days. Tuesday, I think we'll get to 100 maybe here in the Boston area. But in the meantime, you're here with me at Catherine's Garden and Home, and I'm going to take you around for our Sunday walk about. Okay, so let's get going. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Well, I have been seeding out these different zinnias, and this one happens to be State Farm Giant Mix colors and zinnias, and I'm going to plant them out real soon after the heat wave, because we're going to be having a heat wave for the next couple of days here in the Boston area. It's supposed to be getting up into the high 90s, like 97 to 99. And so I want to get them in the ground after that, because then we'll have rain for the next couple of days, so that they will really thrive. But then also I have my basil. These basil seeds are from the Dollar Tree, and every year I plant out the basil seeds. This time I had to do 2 packs. But as you can see, I have plenty of basil, and they're growing really well here. So I'm excited about that, because I really, really love basil. And I've decided to put them outside to let out. Well, I had them covered or in a separate area here, and I decided to let them sit in the sun. And it decided to rain. Earlier this morning, we got like 3 hours of some rain, light rain. And so they're ready for any heat that will come today. And I said, let me just come on outside and show you what's happening on my deck and in the garden, give you a quick walkabout this morning before the heat comes later on this afternoon and into the evening. So, something new. This is something new that I'm trying out here. I have some vinca plants that were left over, and I also had a tomato plant that hadn't been planted yet and actually appeared as if it were wilting, but then I decided to put it in here in this container. And you know what? It is flowering. I'm gonna have tomatoes soon. I'm so excited about that. And this, let me see if I can find the tag. I don't see the tag. Let me see if I can find that tag. Oh, here it is. Great. This is a husky cherry red cherry tomato, which is fantastic. So I was thinking that it will do well here in this container on the deck, and then I will get something or a stick or something to make sure that it stays erect here. And then I had my spearmint. I had bought some spearmint and I had it in the container, and it was just getting very, very root bound and drying out. So I said to myself, let me put it in the container for now, and then later on I will transplant it and put it either in a bigger pot, a pot by itself, or in the ground. But I'm liking all of this because you know what, with that spearmint, it has been growing, and what I've been doing is just cutting it and cooking the leaves, drinking the leaves, making myself some spearmint tea, and it has been delicious. And because it's close by, right here on the deck, it's been so easy for me to gather it and to use it. So that's the new thing that I've done here on the deck. Well, the garden is looking really good here. Things are growing, and we can also see a change that's happening in the garden. I can see the daylilies over there. I don't know if you can see them. The daylilies are starting to open up, and I have daylilies forming here. So soon we are going to have some beautiful orange color in the garden. I love that. Last week, or the week before that, I planted out some new annuals in the garden beds there, and made some changes. And it is looking really, really good. But let me just show you what's happening here. I am just so pleased to see how my hydrangea here, my mop head hydrangea, bridal bouquet, this is growing so well. Now this one is a propagated plant that I propagated about 10 years ago, and I placed it here on this side, and now it is really looking beautiful and very lush, and I love the flowers. This flower is just so beautiful. I can understand why they've called it bridal bouquet, because of the whiteness of the blooms and the freshness of the leaves. It's just a beautiful, beautiful hydrangea. My 3 beds here are doing very, very well, and I am pleased to see how the impatiens are spreading out and getting thicker here in these beds. I had planted out also some marigolds, and the marigolds, as you can see there, are growing. I planted the seeds and I put out the seedlings here in the bed, and now they are just loving it here. They have plenty of room to grow. But along with that, I also planted out some zinnias there. And those zinnia plants are from Rare Seeds from Baker Creek. And it is wonderful that they are looking like they've caught, that they're going to grow. And We're going to have some beautiful zinnias in that space. I also planted some collard greens slips there because I have so many, and it's very architectural in its shape. It's going to grow tall and just, be either a nice filler right there in that space. I am waiting for this bee balm to color up, to start blooming, seeing those red, beautiful flowers at the top. Hopefully by July, the beginning of July, it will burst open. I think they're ready to do that. And we can also see that with the Casablanca lilies, that they're now having their buds at the top. So we will have beautiful white lily flowers real soon. Now in this bed I also planted some zinnia seeds here too, and they're looking fantastic. They look like they love this spot, so I am excited to see the flowers here. Now all around it I have like perennials, like this here. This is a mint, apple mint, and then I have some other plants as well, like the variegated grass, and of course the daylilies that I was telling you about earlier. They're about to open up. Maybe they'll open up later on this afternoon. And of course we have our container, and that is filling out nicely. In this front bed I added some zinnias as well, and I planted in some pumpkins, and you could see that pumpkin coming up right there. And I also added some collard greens as well. But I just had to make some changes here because the tulips had finished, and I put some of the vincas here as well. So it will be nice because the vincas will grow up and create us a mound, like 12 inches high. And then we have the zinnias that will also be there. The zinnias will come up taller. And then I have the purple plant. That's purple perella, which is an herb, but it's beautiful, and it helps to change up the color here in this area because everything is so green. So I'll be able to transplant some of them around and create a really beautiful bed. But in the meantime, I'm excited to always see some changes here. I also planted some squash, butternut squash right there. And what will happen is that they will trail in this space. I also have another white hydrangea. This is the bridal bouquet. Yeah, I also propagated this one. And look at the beautiful blooms. They're just so full and beautiful this right at this moment. I'm happy to see my blue hydrangea, Nico blue, that it has the blooms here. As you can see, a lot of them didn't open up and probably got destroyed. You know, it was a hard winter for them. But these happen to survive, and I'm very happy to see that. Now in this particular bed here, we could see that the hostas and the ground cover are very, very happy. Look at that. I love the bishopweed and the ferns and the other ground cover along with the hostas. They're looking fresh and nice. And then in this pot, it's actually growing up, which is so nice. It's filling out, and the others back there as well. But look at this. I like this here so much. With the statue on the bird bath and the beautiful hostas that are flowering. This side is doing so well. I'm just really, really pleased with it. And things are filling out nicely here. It smells so beautiful. You could smell the fragrance of the garden. We had smell-o-vision, as they say. You'll be able to smell the garden. It's beautiful. The birds are just, I don't know. I have a lot of blue jays in the garden, and they're just having a heyday here. You can hear them in the background. Now this is the mother plant of the hydrangea, the white hydrangea that I showed you in the front bed, and also by the corner of the deck. This is the mother of the bridal bouquet, and it is looking thick and lush. Very, very, very good. I think the location of this hydrangea is what helped to protect the buds, and now that we're able to have the flowers. It's beautiful. I just love this hosta here in this corner. Right here in this corner, the bluebells are just looking so sweet. And this, the last time I was thinking about, well, what is this again? And this is milkweed. It's a native plant. And it is so fragrant, and I think that's what I'm smelling here in the garden. Along with the apple mint here and the ferns. I want to show you the daylilies here that have opened up. And these daylilies are always the first to open, and we used to call them ditch lilies. You know, that's what they've called them before, because you can find them on the roadway, you know, as you are driving, because they're adorable and they just come back every year. I don't have to do anything. And usually when the leaves dry out like this, we just clean this up, it dies back, and then fresh leaves come up. But yeah, that's our daylilies here. Over here are some more daylilies. These are Stella d'Oro daylilies. And I just love it here because it's adding this color that helps to just brighten this spot here by the kitchen garden entrance. I have also some impatiens down there, some red impatiens that are filling out. But in the meantime, this is one of the featured plants, the daylilies. And this particular daylily is giving us color right now. And check out my pepper, my green pepper. It has flowered. Look at that. We're going to have peppers soon. I am excited about that because this was an experiment. I've never put a pepper plant in a pot, but this time I said I'm going to put the pepper plant in the pot and just see what we get. And it looks like we're going to have some beautiful peppers here. And this is my tomatoes. This is a sun gold tomato, and you can see all those buds. We're going to have tomatoes real soon. The tomatoes are doing very, very well here and growing up really well. They've definitely made some growth, some progress in the last couple of weeks. I'm happy to see that. And also the marigolds that I started from seed, they're doing well too. My vegetable kitchen garden is just doing fantastic. Everything is growing, and it seems like what I was concerned about, those eggplants there, that they now have caught themselves. They're here to stay. They're growing. They're happy in their spot, and they're doing very, very well. And of course, the collard greens. I've already been picking the leaves, using it in cooking, just enjoying it. The kale is doing fantastic. The peppers are growing. And I also see right there my pumpkin and squash plants. Pumpkin. And so I'm hoping that they will just cover up and fill up this corner here. But right now, I'm just happy to see how the corn, look at that. The corn is about to my waist now. And my snap peas are trailing up, which is so good. Now, you might be wondering, what is this here in the middle? That's just a perennial that I got, and it has beautiful yellow flowers. So I like to have it in the garden because then it brings the pollinators into this area to pollinate the tomatoes and to help the garden. Yeah, plus it just adds color. You know I love flowers. So I'm very pleased with that. And I'm very, very pleased with my kitchen garden area. This is just so beautiful. The tomatoes are doing well, and everything that I planted is thriving. I am so pleased to see these hydrangeas. Check that out. What a beautiful color. It's almost like a bluish, purplish color. And my roses here are doing well. And I love this pink rose. That's Lady Bridabelle, or Brenda Bell, I think. Either Lady Brenda Bell or Bridabelle, one of the two. Probably Brenda Bell. Very pretty pink rose. And here's a closer look at the hydrangea. That's an endless summer hydrangea that I got from Lowe's about 3 or 4 years ago. And as we move up, we have some problems there with this rose, but it's okay. It will it will pull itself together. Things will work out with it. But what I want to show you, I want to show you the little limelight hydrangea, which is different from the other hydrangeas that I have. Via the mop head, and it is flowering nicely. And then I have here the oak leaf hydrangea, which is just beautiful. Check out these blooms. So the both of them together is just filling out this corner really well. I also planted some zinnias here, and they are doing fantastic also. My Tinkerbell rose bush still flowering. Just a beautiful rose bush. I love it. And I also have this rose bush. This is Moonlight. Now, isn't that pretty? And it's now giving me some more flowers. Now back there is another one of my bridal bouquet, and it is a propagated one as well, and in great color. And then I also have some daylilies that will be opening up and filling in this space. I still have my Tinkerbell that's finishing up. I've been deadheading it, but it has a lot of new stems, and we're going to have some fresh flowers. I just love the color of the leaves right now. Isn't that beautiful? That you've enjoyed this walkabout for the last Sunday in June. And there's so many things happening. It's just transitioning, and now we're about to have a heat wave, so things are probably going to be looking a little different. But it will probably bring out some new and wonderful plants. Things will fade, but things will be coming in. The heat lovers, the plants that love this, the heat and the sun will show up. Thank you for watching. And if you like these videos, then subscribe. And I try to have a video for you all every Sunday, a walkabout. So you can see my garden transforming throughout the season if you just hit the subscribe button and become a part of Catherine's Garden and Home community. It's free. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button for beautiful, calm, relaxing videos here with me. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Well, thank you so much for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home. Look at my grape vine. And I hope you enjoyed the walkabout this Sunday afternoon. It's so relaxing. There's no one out because it's just too warm for many, but it's just pleasant here in my garden amongst the trees and the cool breeze here. But yeah, my grapevine is just doing very well. I have some little grapes. Let me show you. Let me see if I can show you them. Do you see that? A little cluster of grapes. And to me, that is just so interesting, so exciting, because hopefully the squirrels and the birds won't get to them before I do. Gonna have to come up with a plan to make that all work out. So thank you again for joining me here, and see you very soon here from Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. Bye.